Well, Prime Minister May has meanwhile visited some of the wounded in hospital. Our London correspondent Richard Bestic has the latest on the aftermath of the attack.
This latest outrage, the third terrorist outrage in London in the last 2 months, has seen a change of attitude here, a stronger tone in reaction, perhaps best personified by the words from Prime Minister Theresa May. Following a meeting with her most senior security advisors and senior ministers, she came out of number 10 Downing Street to say that things have got to change. Enough is enough. She itemised a number of areas where there would be changes. The government would be looking more closely at the internet, which May said had offered the air to breathe for Islamist extremists. She said that there was also in the outer world, in the real world, greater attention needed focusing on what was happening. That a reference to breeding grounds for Islamist extremism in other parts of the world. But her strongest words were perhaps for the Islamist extremists within Britain. These people, she said, who acted without any other ideology than a hatred for the liberal democracies in the West. That hatred driving them on in a copycat fashion. She said that there had been too much tolerance so far, and she was going to be looking again at how Britain approached it.
There is, to be frank, far too much tolerance of extremism in our country. So we need to become far more robust in identifying it and stamping it out across the public sector and across society. Since the emergence of the threat from Islamist-inspired terrorism, our country has made significant progress in disrupting plots and protecting the public. But it is time to say enough is enough.
In addition, the Prime Minister said that she will be looking at police counter-terrorism measures, not to see how they could be changed, but to see how they could be strengthened, whether more money was needed. This latest outrage on this bridge over here, the famous London Bridge, comes against a backdrop of a general election, which brings its own security problems in its own right. And of course it comes as Ariana Grande and other stars in Manchester stage a benefit concert for those who died and were injured in the outrage 2 weeks ago when a suicide bomber walked into a theatre, into an arena, taking the lives of 22 people. There is here a possible change, perhaps a tipping point in British attitudes. How that is clothed in policy, though, will become the issue of great debate in the weeks, months, and possibly years ahead. Richard Bestic, CGTN, London.